Welcome to Math TV with Professor V. In this video, we're going to solve the following problem. It says express the integral, we have a triple integral over e of f dv as an iterated integral in 6 different ways. Where e is the solid bounded by the given surfaces, we have y equals 4 minus x squared minus 4z squared, and y equals 0. So first things first, we need to graph the solid E in our three-dimensional coordinate system. So these two surfaces determine E. Can you already tell what this first equation represents the graph of? It's a paraboloid, okay? And since y is isolated and it's the non-squared variable, it's opening along the negative y-axis, okay? And it's also been shifted 4 units in the positive y direction because of this 4 here. If that's a little tricky for you to see, maybe review a little bit of your quadric surfaces from earlier. If I substitute in 0 for x and 0 for z, you can see where the vertex of the paraboloid is. It's at 0, 4, 0, okay? And then if I intersect that paraboloid with the plane y equals 0, which is also the xz plane, that intersection is going to give me an ellipse. So how do I determine that? I'm simply going to come through, substitute in 0 for y here, okay? So 0 equals 4 minus x squared minus 4z squared, which means x squared plus 4z squared is 4. Already, hopefully you recognize this is an ellipse. Typically, we set them equal to 1. So I have x squared over 4 plus z squared equals 1. So that's going to be where the paraboloid intersects the xz plane, where y is equal to 0. And that's going to be basically the base of the solid. Okay, so now let's try to graph exactly what this solid E looks like in our three-dimensional coordinate system. So z-axis. Let's put x-axis maybe like this. And then here's our y-axis. Okay, so what's relevant? What do we need to put on here? Well, the vertex of the paraboloid, 0, 4, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that'll be there. And then also, we know that the paraboloid's base is that ellipse in the xz plane. So since underneath x squared we have a 4, that means the vertices of the ellipse are at 2, 0, 0, and negative 2, 0, 0. And I'm also going to go up and down 1 unit in the z direction. All right, so this is the base right here of the paraboloid. This is our ellipse. And then it comes all the way up right here and back down. Okay, so some shading can be helpful. This side's a little deformed. Let me round it out. Okay, so this is the base right here in the xz plane. And then we'll set up that integration order first. We'll do x and z last. That's giving us the base. And then the height is determined by the paraboloid here. Okay, good. So normally it would extend forever that way, but we're intersecting it with y equals 0. So let's start off, most natural order is to do or use the xz plane as the base of our solid, of our integration region, E. So what you want to do is draw the base region. Just give yourself a little 2D graph. That way you can set up the bounds for your integrals more easily. So here let's do x and z, and we already kind of know what it's looking like. So we have here 2, negative 2, 1, negative 1. And we've got this cute little ellipse. Okay, the equation of the ellipse, I have it already right here. And I obtained it by setting y equal to 0, right? Because we were using the intersection of the paraboloid with y equals 0. So I know the equation right here is x squared plus 4z squared equals 4 for the ellipse. Now we have to decide, first setup, do you want to do z or x last? It doesn't matter. We're going to have to do both eventually. Let's do something comfortable. Let's do f dy dz dx first. So whatever you're integrating with respect to last, those limits need to be constant. So let's look here at the ellipse. In the x direction, what is bounding this base region? The bounds are going to go from -2 to 2. So those are the limits of integration here. Now the next integral we're going to do is with respect to z. So look in the z direction, what bounds the region on the top and what bounds it on the bottom. If you need a little bit of help, draw a little line segment in the z direction. Wherever it hits on the bottom is going to be the lower bound of that integral. Where it hits on the top, that's the upper bound. And it always has to be z equals, because those are limits for z. So let me rearrange the equation here of the ellipse. Solve for z. So 4z squared equals 4 minus x squared. And then that means z squared is 1 minus x squared over 4. And so we have z equals plus or minus rad 1 minus x squared over 4. The positive radical is the upper half of the ellipse, and the negative radical is the lower half of the ellipse. So maybe now that makes it clear what the upper and lower limits should be. Upper limit for z is going to be rad 1 minus x squared over 4. I need more room. Scoot, scoot. Perfect. 1 minus x squared over 4. And then the lower limit's going to be negative rad 1 minus x squared over 4. Okay. Lastly, we need limits for y. Now you need to look back at the 3D picture. Same thing, draw a line segment that's going through the solid, and it's always in increasing direction of that variable. So if I'm trying to figure out limits for y is increasing this way. So if you draw a line segment through the solid, it starts at the base, which is where y equals 0, and it stops not always at 4, it stops at wherever the paraboloid is, right? It would go here to, it would hit the edge of the paraboloid. So lower limit's going to be 0. Upper limit is the paraboloid, but remember these are limits for y, so I have to give y equals, and that's already ready to go here, 4 minus x squared minus 4z squared. All right, are you surviving? Now we're going to still use the xz plane as the base, so I'm just going to interchange the order right here. So this one won't change. I'm still going to do y first. So 4 minus x squared minus 4z squared f dy. And then now I'm going to have dx dz. So what does that change up? Well, now the limits for z have to be constants. So look at the region here. Z is bounded from -1 to 1. And then next, I'm giving limits for x. So if we look back here, let me erase this so it doesn't get too messy. X is bounded, draw yourself a little line segment, on the left by the ellipse and on the right by the ellipse. But I have to rearrange the equation of the ellipse and isolate x. So this time we're going to have x squared equals 4 minus 4z squared. So x is plus or minus rad 4 minus 4z squared. The positive radical is the right half of the ellipse, and the negative radical is the left half of the ellipse. So the upper bound would be positive rad 4 minus 4z squared, and the lower bound would be negative rad 4 minus 4z squared. Okay, that's taken care of. How do we feel? Good. So we've done xz plane as the base, 2 orders of integration. We've got 4 left. So we have to switch up now which plane we're going to use as the base. Okay, let's try xy plane as the base next. Okay, here we go. So xy plane as the base. So in the xy plane, z is equal to 0. So first, you're going to graph your base region in the xy plane. If z is equal to 0, you come back here to the equation of the paraboloid and you substitute in 0 for z, and you can see what the base region is going to look like in the xy plane. Can you kind of imagine it? It's a parabola opening downward. If you can't see it, we'll get it right now. So originally we have the paraboloid y equals 4 minus x squared minus 4z squared. If the xy plane is the base, then z is 0. So then we have y equals 4 minus x squared. So that's the base region in the xy plane. Hopefully you're familiar with how to graph that. Oh, sorry, that x-axis is crooked. We need this precise. Okay, x, y. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes through 2, negative 2 in the x direction. Ba-doom, ba-doom. And we stop here. Look back at your 3D graph, the graph of the entire solid E, and verify this makes sense. So in the xy plane, can you see? Can you see that parabola if you're looking downward on it? Okay, good. So if that's the base region, we're going to integrate with respect to x and y last, and with respect to z first. Ooh, okay. So let's set up the triple integral. F, and then we'll do z first, and I'll just do dy dx, let's say. So if x is last, then the limits for x need to be constant. They go from negative 2 to 2. Next, I need limits for y. So draw yourself a little line segment through the region in the y direction. Where it hits first is the lower limit, that's y equals 0. Where it hits second is the upper limit, that's y equals 4 minus x squared. So here's 0, 4 minus x squared. And then now limits for z, you got to look back at your original equation, your paraboloid, which was right here. Solve for z. So that's going to give us, let me move it, 4z squared equals 4 minus x squared minus y squared. Excuse me. And then z squared is 4 minus x squared minus y squared over 4. So z equals plus or minus radical. Actually, I can split up the rad, huh? So let me just do rad of the numerator over 2. Rad 4 minus x squared minus y squared over 2. So look back at the picture. This is the paraboloid in terms of z. And remember, we're using x, y as the base. Okay, we have that cute little parabola opening downward. In the z direction, what is bounding the solid? In the top, it is the paraboloid. And at the bottom, it's also the paraboloid. I mean, I guess technically it goes from here to here, but I'm trying to show you perspective that like no matter where you pick it, it's the top of the paraboloid and then the bottom of the paraboloid. So we'll have the positive radical as the upper limit and the negative radical as the lower limit. So this will be rad 4 minus x squared minus y squared over 2, upper limit, and then negative rad 4 minus x squared minus y squared over 2 as the lower limit. Yeah, I know. Don't worry, that's why we're not actually integrating them. That would be cruel and unusual punishment. Okay, now let's switch it up. We're still going to use the xy plane as the base. So the limits for z are the same. I'm not changing anything there. 4 minus x squared minus y squared over 2. And then negative rad 4 minus x squared minus y squared over 2. F, and then this is dz, dx, dy now. So if y is last, then limits for y have to be constant. Y goes from 0 to 4. And then this time x's limits, let's see, goes from the left side of the parabola to the right side of the parabola. So rearrange, solve for x. X squared equals 4 minus y. So x equals plus or minus rad 4 minus y. So upper limit for x is going to be positive, rad 4 minus y, and lower limit negative, rad 4 minus y. All right, we got 4 done, only 2 more left. 2/3 of the way there. Yay. So we've done xz plane as the base, xy plane as the base, lastly yz plane as the base. YZ plane as the base. So again, what you're going to do is take the equation of the paraboloid, the original one. If the YZ plane is the base, that means x is equal to 0. So if I substitute in 0 for x, I get y equals 4 minus 4z squared. So if we draw this as a parabola, which it is, it's going to be opening in the negative y direction, and x is already 0. If I substitute in 0 for z, I get 4 for y, right? Okay, so let's graph this guy. Here's z, and here is y. So if z is 0, y is 4. And then when y is 0, z is plus or minus 1. So it's looking like this. You could also switch your axes the other way around, but I'm keeping z up and down to kind of match our 3D graph of E. So we've got this going on. Look back at the original, make sure this makes sense, okay? Look at the YZ plane. Imagine if you smashed that paraboloid flat. Yeah, here's the parabola that I just graphed. Goes through 4 here, plus 1, minus 1, okay? Good. So that means we're going to integrate with respect to y and z last. So let's set up our triple integral. 2, 3, f, that means dx is first, and then let's do dy dz. So limits for z need to be constant, since that's last. That's from -1 to 1. And then limits for y are going to go from 0 to the parabola, which is y equals 4 minus 4z squared. So 0 to 4 minus 4z squared. And then limits for x, go back to your original region, okay? So if the YZ plane is the base, x is going to go from lower end of the paraboloid to upper end of the paraboloid, but we have to rearrange and solve the paraboloid for x. Okay, we can do it. We can do it. So from here, we have x squared equals 4 minus 4z squared minus y. So x is plus or minus rad 4 minus 4z squared minus y. So the negative radical is going to be the lower limit. The positive radical is going to be the upper limit. So here we have rad 4 minus 4z squared minus y, and then this is negative rad 4 minus 4z squared minus y. Beautiful. Only one more to go. And it's not bad because we're going to keep x first. So we already have those limits, and then we're just going to switch it to dz dy. So let's fill in the limits for x. Those don't change. And then this is rad 4 minus 4z squared minus y. Now, since y is on the outside, those limits have to be constant. That goes from 0 to 4. And then the limits for z, lower limits, the parabola bottom half, upper limits, the parabola top half. But I need to rearrange the parabola's equation and isolate z. So that's 4z squared equals 4 minus y. Z squared equals 1 minus y over 4. So z is plus or minus rad 1 minus y over 4. So positive radicals are upper limit, negative radicals are lower limit, rad 1 minus y over 4, and then negative rad 1 minus y over 4. And that's it. Whew. Okay, I recorded this because I didn't have enough time to go over it in class yesterday, or when was it? Monday. So here you go, my little calculus angels. If it helps anyone else out there, fabulous. And then I have a couple more I need to record because it was, a jam-packed day in class. As you can see, these problems are not for the faint of heart. If you need a recap or a video lecture on any of the sections in Calculus 3, check out the description. I have links to playlists and other videos I've already recorded on my YouTube channel. And you can also catch me on Instagram and TikTok at MacTV with Professor V. Give the video a thumbs up if it was helpful. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back soon. Love you guys.